Abononsia higher peace 104.3 FM, okay, 101.7 neat, 100.9 FM, your ship house, Abeka Junction, Accra. Ye Kumasia, hello, 101.5. Adeshemema, ya mamunina ajo. Kasiabo, yen sakana numre, ena ye de bremu. Kasiabo, enam radio stations bebre so ewo omeimu, bebia woti enkano, na aha, peace. 104.3 FM. Na Kasieboy obetimi etie yen e wontentan homa no so a. Na peacefmonline.com. peacefmonline.com. GhanaToday.com. Hot Digital Radio obetimi ate yenka every eho. Sanso ena Facebook 104.3 FM. No. Udi peace be di kan. Inti peace 104.3 FM. Ewo Facebook a obetimi hahwe yen ede every ho. Na enwumre Kasieboy ne edimu akotene ebi ene say
Vice Chancellor was some University of Mines and Technology wakasa dia tudwa se braso se esu ene baya mofra de na die e wo suapan hudum ne ye hwe ne ye kan ye san say empanyin to san e be ba sa mabru ne diem
Mampanyin John Dramani Mahama ene wabo eye KNUST Vice Chancellor woko ene ne wo ba no wabo mu nyina ba so ena wachire se KNUST wo mo abadwuma so no mo ka ho bi ne Ghana mabunu ye benya daache papa free ho
Amrando was some Bank of Ghana kasa dia tudwa se sidi no ahode ba mu a enya dwadifo nko ne nya so fa so na emum wona woko na humidie mu nso onya mfa so di firi so pa
Bank of Ghana ena ode atudwa se enei wo mo behwe ma microfinance any credit unions ahodo no ye be ye omu nyina ne de omu akọ ARB Apex Bank se de be ya wo mu sika sembe timi agina omu na so enru afempinu ne aduonu nso de hwebe na omu nyina akọ akogu
Food and Drugs Authority impeni for the kokoba no din ama wona woton insumunam wona wotutu insumunam se fa akoyo na adwuma no awunide hu nsem wontoto na ase enye sa ne ye kyewa wonya aban amane
ensem no pika ho ne de bramo ene Kasieboy mu na ye kan mo se Ghana this week so ye de bebrem na watwe mu nyina ensem adi ahim adi adencheche ewo afidie so amo aso ate de wonte ye de nyina bebrem na ye adwumakuo ya dawroma
20 na 74 and 20 na 74 Ghana this week wafa ho ka se ensem etodwa na watwe mu nyina no memene de dura yensasi nyina akoso na yenka aka ye ho na nwumere Kasieboy de emu aseda ye this way chocolate drink no hia no a ene wusu hie special range of drinks best point best assurance you to nchene ka ho bi wonyina ebi esedo na Kasieboy yesi nkonwa ye de somwo akenkanfo ye me Sadat Mohammed Mene
Akosia sapon afi ye ko Kasieboy no emu amampanyi John Dramani Mahama eno de atu edwa echese Social Universities ahodo e wo Ghana mamu ha sei a wo mo boa pa ama mpuntuo etumi akoso mpuntuo no ene sei se wo mo emantete ya ma mabunu enya baby pagina wo mo sesa wo mabrabo ama daache papa wo mo enya bi no ene nyina boa ema oman ye sikasem ye nyini ema mpuntuo so ba mampanyi akasa ye e wo Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology Trinity akano KNUST na wachire se emfie pii nie se wo hwe universities ahodo adesua a wo mu sua titiriu eye KNUST eye bia bia aboa papa e de akanifo animdefo aba na ye yi akyerkyerefo papa e wo ho na ye yi won mu akosua de e wo ho a wo mu nyina ye ka bom wo maboa ama enei wo mama empuntu atimi akoso na wo mbekoso ama Ghana agina ne nanso ye kan human resource efem ho se ye nya nipa wo mbekọ akọhye nnwuma ahodo mu a eno aboa ama ne competition abam se wa anyere wo ho awunya ba bi no ahye na KNUST wo madi mu akotene we nyina no na eye ensem a okuru kire ye echichire ede hye Ghana ye chief of staff eye onumonyamfo Dr. Julius Debra wachichire hye na no se wonko kasa na we no na Professor Christian Ejare wono ena sese waba beto so Vice Chancellor otoso dumiensa e wo Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology esan se ye ka sei Vice Chancellor na owo ho dada Professor Mrs. Rita Akosua Dixon Wonu free ho ama opanyini yaba mekire Professor Christian Ejare aba na ne nyina mu no na chief of staff o kire say de wo bai obi anim na dwuma sɛ de ositie ɛna ne wo kɔ no nso wo bɔ na ba so esan sɛ wona no yo ba wo di kan ya wo ba ba vice chancellor e wo KNUST wo ba ye nso no wo tu ne husi wo ye adwuma ne yie so wo yo ba wo di kan no wa mfa ni agro wa ndia agro ba kokora o ye bibia pepepe sɛ ne ɛsɛ na ɛfata wonim so sɛ enipa wo bai ɛyɛ Professor Christian Ejare ono so bɛyɛ na adwuma sɛ de ɛsɛ na ɛfata wo wie kra no ɛna wo bɔ His Royal Majesty o 24say22 a otoso mienu opem so wo hene ebetena adwama ne bɔ na ba so sɛ ɔyɛ chancellor mua ɛma KNUST no wabɔ adwuma watu ne ho asi wode aboa ma hyiapon na konanim ɛwɔ akwanuasa nyinaa so.
Across Ghana, throughout Africa and around the world, Otumfuo Osei II is recognized as one of the most respected traditional rulers of our time. That standing has been earned through wisdom, moral authority, and a lifelong commitment to the well-being of people. Your Majesty has shown that traditional leadership can remain firmly rooted in history while responding boldly to the needs of the present. Through your work in education, thousands of young people have received opportunities that might have otherwise remained beyond their reach. KNUST has been fortunate to benefit from your counsel, protection, and vision. Your presence as Chancellor has brought stability, continuity, and a conviction that excellence must always be joined to service. Professor Mrs. Rita Kusia-Dixon, today we salute you. Your appointment as the first woman to serve as Vice Chancellor of KNUST was historic.
Ene ayeti ye eye ensam ahodo amampanyi John Dramani Mahama Krichire ye ede ema Ghana ye chief of staff onimunyamfo Dr. Julius Debra ema wokoye ekoka ema no enwachi ena vice chancellor Sabri wo free KNUST Professor Mrs. Rita Kusia-Dixon ono so di nsem se tuja.
This transition is taking place at a particularly significant moment in the university's life. As we celebrate our 75th anniversary, we have collectively committed ourselves to moving from excellence to eminence. And I thank the Almighty God for his abundant grace and faithfulness in bringing us this far. First of all, to warmly congratulate Professor Christian Ejare on his appointment as the 13th Vice Chancellor of our great and noble institution. This appointment is both a tremendous honor and an enormous responsibility.
Anyhow, yeti Vice Chancellor Sabre Woko, Professor Mrs. Rita Kusia-Dixon, and yeti so kasano. Yen central for Yera Samson Kwame Nyameche, one Otobro Sie Kwajobu Edu Omo, and Omudi Nsemi Bai.
Vice Chancellor for Wapa Onwo na Obesum University of Mines and Technology, and Professor Bernard Kumi Boating. Prof akasa de tudwa se obasu apon hodo mu a se bi mpredwasa. Enya nimde nko a eno de mamofra na emom wotete wokyena akandifo. Na ekame akwese ne sapoma disuafo da su ene ban bi de ahwehwe wi wani su enyi. Ene e be ma bebo wura class na tese asomade asum kai egu na som. Wabo benku mienu, wabo nifa mienu, ne rasta e platform na wote ho se kirekire ni nkire na de. Wo se ya de a enka sempa emfa Ghana yesu apon adisuafo ho. Wosini nyina no ka hu bi na ne ubowura su apon hodo mu a ene enuboni fayi atiate sesa no occultism ekoso pa ene enso hweduru ho no mu akwabra na cha GPT adawroma na odi abo apose ya tam setichani begina wo market wo se emwa anhwe ya Ghana yenkenten ene yedi ko nso a wo kina bi no ebedi yadokono kwa wo se na ni tie ye na ya mani dibre so Mbesum University of Mines and Technology se vice chancellor otoso ennan no se usuni ban we de won so entu edusuani ewo University of Mines and Technology na sabi say no abra botia no atu hu for san say wo ba idie wo no wo beti anyam wo de san sam itu ja wo abra mpinfo ya mamre ne amane na wo de no esi ade so osuapon no mu ewo takwa atoye mantamu.
The university is not only a place where knowledge is acquired, it is also where character is shaped and leadership is nurtured. Our conduct, appearance, and interactions should reflect the dignity and aspirations of this great institution. The spirit of UMass is reset from today. The habits we cultivate today will influence the opportunities we receive tomorrow. My administration will therefore engage students, alumni staff, and other stakeholders in reviewing our student conduct framework to ensure that it promotes a culture of responsibility, inclusiveness, professionalism, and mutual respect, while we preserve the individuality and dignity of every student.
Ania Echegoi, a Professor Bernard Kumibuatin, one new Chancellor Wapau no Babesum University of Mines and Technology. Now, and what you know, Vice Chancellor, one who we in some Nawoko, Professor Richard Kwesi Anankwa, and Suka Bia Uchiramuse. So you appointed here any more disuano, a brason, say, Yamanusia, a racing in Adie. Yamfa Belfu identity, Yanson Kan, Honem Konkobase. Abofane Bettina School Demo, not just a watcher, buku, sa, where IT, now to programming. Onimie, programming or Bessuana, a kratas, or see a Yanesa, a Kobasa, no, a Camia question, Nimia, or so mine. And to bed national one said, say, Yamfa Belfu identity, Yamfa Kill Shop Production. Now, what child is running will Reno Piedmont, so I've been than Woba, or Mano, Ibena for so friso.
Rapid technological advancement, artificial intelligence, digital transformation, demographic shifts, and the changing labor market demands reshaping the purpose and practice of our universities and the educational system that we have. In all these, I realize that our collective responsibility is not merely to respond to change, but to lead it with courage, with vision, and with purpose. And indeed, that is what UMass has been doing for the past 6 years. Together, we have worked purposefully to strengthen relevance, visibility, and influence. We have deepened our engagement with government, regulatory agencies, development partners, industry, and the international community, and have also advocated and supported excellence and innovation.
And can Vice Chancellor now was University of Mines and Technology. Now we're really some na pinfoya mamrede ejane kwan Professor Richard Kwesi Anankwa and what this answer we etu dwana mamra na ekoswe wotonsa edifro panyin bi a eba animdia onimdi ewo papa Professor Prasanna Prabhu or chairman of ACT of Living Sri Institute of Agricultural Sciences and Technology ewo India ama odinani mo nyambe pie mu ewo dwumedi ase ne kasa no na wo tirem se Ghana disua ene India disua enema bebre edi nsepa enti aman mi onu yenkoso na yemfo yentoma mbo ano na eba nimde ena disua yenche adwen na ebeboa ama Ghana ni India gina na yetumpon eba suapon adisua mu a.
Nature over billions of years has created a solution which we choose to ignore, and we in the name of technology we always want to do something new, but nature has a lot to teach, and I think it is high time that we learn from it and we started implementing it. So water purification is a great area of activity. Air pollution is another challenge that we are grappling with all over the world. As the city gets bigger, vehicles, more people, more construction, more mining, more things, air is the one that gets polluted very, very quickly and fast. So we need to work very, very closely on how we can make sure that the polluted air can be cleaned. We have a lot of collaborative and work that we have done.
Professor Prasanna Prabhu, or Titinania was some Act of Living. I was Sri Institute of Agricultural Sciences and Technology or India. Nene na etwagui apia dankwa Rock FM na manipo enie.
Na Bank of Ghana edi atu edwa se enche bia wo muguso ye nhihye ya wo ba beyi microfinance institutions and credit unions a wo mukuta omo license papa bi ode ye adwuma no obeyi omo nyina de omo akọ ARB Apex Bank wo mo network no so enru afimpinu ne aduonu nson de na kyasa afi ebesim no na sa adwuma no wo ma ye sa hyehye ni nyina awie yi wo mo nyina de akọ akoguso na wo kyerɛ sɛ wei central bank ne hyehye ya eba bebo asikasam ene ɛho entotoye afedie afa wani so a wo ma anye ne yie na ebi ama microfinance any credit union womo bre twe adwuma na fa womo bono womo atimi aye hihye ni yie afei se ye Ghana ye rural any community bank sector ni free wa ene na bank akese no kromu ni ho esan se womo nso ewo mote ewo momo ye a eboa ema Ghana sikasem yie na we nyina no ebeto dwa ewo 24th annual general meeting na eno ye Association of Rural Banks ARB Apex Bank ekoso wa Santemanta Mukumase eno nam soma lawyer Brentuo wode nsem atudwa kyerɛkyerɛ se we yi a wo mo eye no ebeboa amomo ahunu adwuma ahodo a ARB Apex Bank no eye ebemo mo ahunu information technology IT ententa homa no so nsem ena fe payment system womo ebeye bi operational support anasa adwuma mo ye no emoa bi esese womo de boa womo no womo timi aye ne saa amana boa afei ebema said esese womo customers ana womo a womo do musika beto won ketenkete no adwuma na timi akoso ama womo na se e bi ekoba sesika sem hu bi faso bi ba womo so atimi anya bi afei wakasa ede efa domestic debt exchange program no so ho e kire se emfa humpo no rural banks si any microfinance banks si womo yade papa pa wo gina wo na so a womo nim se eboa Ghana sikasem
Ekoye Bank of Ghana di nkuta ho ne microfinance banks any credit unions any yen inti yenyina stakeholders yenyina eka ho inti yeko meetings ni ehwe sena structure timelines ewo ho a ye fulfill inti bibi akoso boko inti from next year na microfinance banks ni credit unions ni last mile providers omo nyina ba be she Apex Bank ase omenya infrastructure bebre na IT service ye wo data center ewo Apex Bank inti ye be ma on shared IT services ye be ma on species ka moving up and down ye be ma on loans wo ho Apex Bank ye wo loans ye ma on from development partners IFAD any African Development Bank
ene ayati ye eye Asantemanta mo ena Jumedie Sonko 24th annual general meeting ma Association of Rural Banks ye ARB Apex Bank focus ye ema lawyer Brentuo de sansem ni tu dwana eno achi na eye board chairman ema ARB Apex Bank Ora Daniel Ohini Wusu enso echechinse say
Media Bank of Ghana dia share yensa na synonym to no na dingina ekwan no nti shene sia community banks ne so ma from scratch to this present level there be a don fear say no nya hwe kra na wana agba wanim kakaka mi kase mo kase nia waputo no so no so di bombi nti when I started bank kakaka na na do be say hwe ne yo nti Bank of Ghana mu say bitumi ayedwuma no say nanka ye segmented we say policy by say that they say consolidated na be benya complete overview case micro finance institutions and yes say be offense na be call credit union for na be call gamfin and as be call ebia susu collected so say the one nyina e policy na tumi akova one nyina nti mfiase na be kakra titru say na me kan mfiase no ye man sika bia e dey support operations.
Ania yeti ye Yora Daniel Ohini Wusu or your board chairman ma ARB Apex Bank yeti se okasan.
Amphibia mu no African Pension Supervisors Association. Okwa asetena adwendwene wo nko kwampo befa so wo nko ni bedi ye na wo nko manso atimi atumpon. Na afin so de no abaso. Wone National Pensions Regulatory Authority na ka won to mabo ano na wo hweye e ma afidie no e fa no to mapadi fraye. Ojina so tonsa e de framra do so Bank of Ghana Dr. Johnson Panditesia ma opanyini die penie e de nanim onyam kopie mu e won hyemu yase opanyini ka sem na wo tirem se e ba sikasem dwadie ni sikasem tutu ya Bank of Ghana mu asudie kase pa na empempi ni so ma bia sikasem eyeyi a na ya na amanfo ta kan se wen ye bebo madwadie timi akoyie na so se empempi ni so ma sika koyi a wana wate won taku won sempo won ka predi asie se wotina bi no ko pension ho migye mu ayemfa mo no omuso nyamfa so pa edi frim esan say 1000 Ghana cedis a obeti de ato honom no wo kina wo ko ho migye mu na se cedi na yeyi a ye de 12000 Ghana cedis ma na wo de kodwa so wonim se sika ni suade na so beto niam bebre na emo so the 1,000 Ghana ne sie na wo kyena ko ahomidie mu ne ama 2,000 Ghana kurampo a esan so man ne sika sem nko yentu de kodwa so a ento hwe ne kamia akọ ese wanya mfa so waboka eno nti so man bi sika sem ko ya eboa ama wana wode won taku won sempo de won kapre nso asie no emfa so do so po eba mu ede ma wo mo wo sei ohwe ama ahodo wa bibire mu nyina wana wode won sika asie pensioner so mu sika no aya na wo man de ye adwuma enti wo kyena bekọ ahomidie mu na mfa so aba so yetua de ma wa na yasadinsi hu e de aprisu de ama wo African countries nyina pensioner sika ye de awura japadie mu no what the best mu a ejina $420 billion. That is a was ropa over Ghana so a by 26.3% ye Ghana ye japade de do na no pensioner sika ene ye de ye and 2024 na pensioner sika do ya boabo ano no na ejina by 86.23 billion Ghana cedis 2025 for huru kosoro 100 billion Ghana cedis dia dan se sampa pensioner sika omudi esi o my Ghana nche ne penifo de ye adwuma wo kire bi no ambasador so po be firi maba enti se won so ko ahomigem na ye twa akọ homasika de mawa ye sadi si hu se pisu de mawa won so no eso wani enti ogina so di tudwa so man ne bekoso no ye adwumaden na wo kina bi no obi ti ne taku ne sempo ne kapre di sie se pensioner usika o kwa de be ma wo no won so etima sombo e de ama wo se inflation a Ghana bre bi atwemo NDC beto ye na ejina 54%. Aban yi ba yen totua pa wade aye nti ene inflation ba be gina 5.3% di adanse sampa aban no ye adwuma.
Across Africa, pension asset under management is estimated to exceed $420 billion. And in Ghana, the 2025 financial review that is published by the Financial Stability Council, it reported that pension assets grew by 26.3% in 1 year, from 86.23 billion cedis in 2024 to a little over 100 billion in 2025. And that the pensions industry accounted for 16.8% of Ghana's financial sector assets. At that scale, pensions are not peripheral to the financial system.
Dr. Johnson Panditesiama, Amrado Awosum Bank of Ghana, Nini. Na enu achi ntitina ni Awosum National Pensions Regulatory Authority. Dr. Ebenezer Ofori Agbeto. Enso kasa bi tirim se bire bi atwamu no se nkobi benya pension sika agis waye aban adwuma. Eni se aban yi ba ye wode hihye egu apono so a wo ye aban adwuma o, wo ye ankronkro adwuma o, wan kasa mpo adwuma na wo ye a obetima titaku sempo akapre na wo di asie wo kina kwa homidie mu a won so nya kakra na wo de wasa usirim edi adanse sampa aban no wadwene Ghana fo ho.
I also like to acknowledge the strong commitment of the government of Ghana under the leadership of His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama, expanding pension coverage to include workers in both the formal and informal sectors has become a national priority. This commitment shows that retirement security should not be a privilege for a few.
Board Chairman Awosum National Pensions Regulatory Authority, Dr. Ebenezer Ofori Agbeto, Nene, Ena Echegui, Apia, Dankwa, and Damadui Ebesumoye.
The International Federation of Women Lawyers, Yechanitia FIDA Ghana, Ena Womo Estrese, Womo Tun Sanso, Edia Free Corporate Institutions. Afei enyumaku ansha banyasie a womo ye adoye wo firi wakoma mu ye adoye enyumaku ahodo so womo ye corporate social responsibilities a womo enkaise Ghana ha ye wo ebia bi asekoba se obi ye hye na ne ye a ye tena na ni gye so tete no de ye wo fie enipa no obi ho kra ni kunu abro no a obi a ne yira abro no a akoda bi wo ho a na wofo abro na na ote obi nchen ebro ne saa neoma na ekoso no se kobasa na nipakro no ye de ne kopie mu ewo drofsu a ese fata se ye beyi na free baabi a wote no ne ye de na kɔ eno no de friend shelter eye on mine de na national budget 2026 e ba ye no acting executive director Mafida eye madam Susanna ite kire se shelter na ye mienu pe the whole Ghana nyina ye mienu pe na hwe nipa dodo a yetie tia wo mo fa ahodie so ye o ma yakayaka de se obi mpo wɔkɔ yaw mu anaa yɛ tete no a baabi a ɔde ne ti bɛto nti ɛne ɔbɛka sɛ ɔbɛtena mu saa ne aboro na ɛma ne bi wɔ hɔ a yɛboro wɔn mo ɛma ɔmo fa mu wuo no yɛ na ɛnyɛ ɔmo a ɛsan sɛ wɔkɔ so ɔkɔtena obi nkyɛn kora nipa kora bɛka sɛ daabi me maa mɛtena ha ne nyinaa ka ho bi na ɔmo tena mu ma ne yɛ saa ne no ɛna Madam Susan Aite kyerɛ sɛ wɔn mo ahwɛ daa abu nkonta ahwɛ sɛ 2026 domestic violence fund no abra wo mo eka budget no sese apagya wo hwa afimpinu ne aduonu nan a baabi a na ejina no yada enka ne na wo 337,500 ena epagya ba 1.6 million Ghana cedis 2024 afei 2026 aba 2.7 million enso emom apagya nkakra de nanso ne o kyerɛ ne sɛ mpanimfoɔ ɛhwɛ no mo ayɛ shelter ne bi aka ho a anka ɛbɛboa nti obesre Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection say ene saa sika any expenditure ne ho nneɔma ne nyinaa no wo mo hwɛ na shelter no no so na so obi ɛkɔ atiti mu saa ne yi na firi baabi ɔwɔ no ɔyɛ nya baabi de no akɔ akɔsie
yɛhwɛ sika aban edema ministry no since 2021 aban masika 2024 ne sika na aban ma yen na ɛwɔ kakra to 2 million ntino yes see sa 30% of sa 2 million no sa aban betumi etumi aye no every year ebeboa so ntinten bia na te say ebenya more than 2 million aye de kwakoma Ministry of Gender
na enu achi na Madam Susan Aite kyerɛ sɛ sika kura o matwa to se be ya sika no beba na ebo achi bidinti ya mo masika no mrantem
Montimi and this can because I'm first coming first quarter or sometimes it be a third quarter. I am more pre-prom where you man will be omen to me in can never by January net as I said you call government chess because of almost special role or more play no and this sensitivity no and these 16 regions a check and sana no and also a huge challenge.
Any yeti ye acting executive director of that FIDA Ghana no Madam Susan Aite and yeti say o kasa sika yim and I didn't say me every
now watching and avoid video be APM one thing so na video hu ni say penyina wada bus stop boys ano and na wakwa ko piemu at New Town and ye hu fidi dwuma kesa ponano na bola so pa na ye pin osum fan obehwe be okumfam won na ye maame nom se bi ho no mo sokoto omu yom hu ye ena wo kire mu se Ghana mpanifo mo hwe e bia na ma adwen ma so na emom se ya hwe ya yadan so na egu monten so hwe mfinu dwuma egu ha no mo afarefo na mo omu yi na so mo hwe ba bia maame nom koto omu ji omunan ene akwanti a ena Food and Drugs Authority mpanifo de woni kire mu ho no mo ene emma ye kokoto omo saa abre ne se omu ji omunan de chichi bebri won so na omo yi nso mu nam ne ade mpanifo de won sa to so na enu akire no na penye kwankyerefo be de kire wo som FDA ne fa hwenua no ho nsem kan so owura Rodrick Dade ajeyi wokasa no de atu dwa sei adwuma na wo ye se farini no Ghana ye ni ho hawo na emom se obeyi nam no bewie fa akwa de bekwa koguo ena mpo ema no omo so omo ho ansa na makwa koto no fa akwa mo ho saa nam no ahunide ho nsem de omo tutu na ase a enye yi esanse mra ewo ho se okoyi nam no na baabi a okwa koye ho adwuma no eye baabi ahunide ho nkoye ne ye kyewa watu aban meda wo gina so no de kokobo ama ma ne wona wo yensum na mo adwuma nyina se ba bia yi wo adwuma no obesere wo se hwe na sisi wo se na be na wo kine bi no ya hwe nkoti atisi e wo man mu
omo ye ho adwuma no ya me bi no training ene ya bo omo koko about so better nam and the sanitary conditions and obey nam ho adwuma enye ye ni local government adia sanitation health officers so ka ho asem na de hu video no so no enye kra say obi eja ne nan need the same place or no so yeah they na go for more o sha enye hopen so na sa ne manisi wo court say Kolebu St. Mary's ekwan so ho no o say nkrofo e de nam egu ekwan ntem pavement na e wo ho no FDA ye ni omo so ahia aba atnase achiro mu de sese omo beye macheda na meka sanse mi nyina ezanse be fa ofidie so ye de bokoko ese sanse no ye ntie biom because nipa be sori echi no aka se no ne ye de hwa ye man na sefo no ene ye so okronfo a ono so wi ade obeka se no so no de hwa de ho
Ania etwagui eye ura Roderick that day aje na was gina so atema Metropolitan Assembly obo mpinufo abaso se bra Bastard Boys ko ye video no di piem wonten so mo so mante no moto so na omutu anamo ene uko piem ba bia crash ne ko gina ye video no a bola na esum ho nyina hu se mpinufo ahyase esisi ho no mo a wonim sesei ena ebeboa wo man no na ye koso so na da no ye ma obi mbeka nche se ye mprapra mpatemu ansane aprapra ebeboa me hu die hu nsem atumpon.
Every municipal authority is no tema. The mayor no, dana sepa. Ye frame be a friend of food emergency response plan. Ye na ye food safety when you man. Ya ka kamum na bibi AC war area agency ne wana na we help each other to do it. It's nra who say ya kamum and the order was given any say sa fish ne ye free horse ye demolish the akoso e je be say obia enso benya sa arehemu no gofo hu nyama food safety no yes food safety is everybody's business.
Ania etwagu yi ayowura Roderick that day aje wo ye penye kwanche fa be di kira wo som Food and Drugs Authority ni fa hwe nnuane ho nsem kan so na wo mi wo bene wa ena de amanepo yi ebesom yen yebegina we so na ya home kasebo no so tawi ba 2074 Ghana this week yebebo awrem.
Tune it in, turn it up,
Peace FM,
and rip off the knob.
Fine, ya drew sui 2074 Ghana this week, and ye de ho aseda e man wo. Na watwi mu na Ghana mampanyin wura John Dramani Mahama kasa di tuja. Sa yonkofo da Ghana e no my Gabon temu no bra so se ye hyemu kena. Na ebo adwadie, ebo amfidudwuma, na ebo ma nkwankwan so timi etumpon. What is answer me to Jawa Brana what you Gabo Mampini, Ebepimu, Ewo my Ganamu.
It is therefore heartening for me that Ghana and Gabon converge on many regional and international questions. As important nations situated in West and Central Africa, respectively, our countries are well placed to strengthen cooperation between our two regions and to contribute meaningfully to the realization of the African Union Agenda 2063.
Ghana mampanyin wura John Dramani Mahama na watwi mu en wode sanse mu yi etu dwa salamati kuku apentel na mane bo enie
na Gabon mampanyin eye mampanyin guwa mabaye no wode nhyiren ekọ ye mampanyin dada flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings ne naso e ma wo kire se ensem bia wode tu dwa no na eyade bia ebo a wo mo ewo Gabon ma wo mo de wo mo ho pa enti wode se bi se tu dwa.
I've been entitled to with my delegation. This is a well-deserved tribute that we have just paid to the memory of late President Rawlings, for the Gabonese people and for Gabon as a whole. His writings and his speeches, I think that late President Rawlings, and that's what inspired us to perpetrate the liberation coup in Gabon on the 30th of August 2023.
Ania yati ye Mampanyi Bryce Nguema Gabon mampanyi
na watwi mu na Ghana mampanyi wura John Dramani Mahama di tuja se Ambassador James Victor Gbeho a wanya ne ba bi ko no panyin no wasum Ghana pa enti se ne wato a e wo so oman no so ye hye nanim nyam.
Throughout his life honored that inheritance with distinction. From the earliest days of his career in Ghana's foreign service, Ambassador Gbeho understood that representing one's country was not simply an assignment, but a sacred trust. For more than 5 decades, he carried that responsibility with uncommon professionalism, quiet confidence, and unwavering patriotism. Wherever he served, Ghana's flag flew a little higher because it was represented by a man of exceptional integrity, sound judgment, and remarkable intellect.
Ora ire Joyce Bawa Muntari eye futufo ono anso ye boafo sonko de magana mampanyini ene wogina na mu nra odi sanse mu etu dwa salamatu kuku apentel ɛna de amanipo yi ɛbɛsomo yɛn
akakakra bi na afe pepepe ni Ghana de hye ya brempon wo mo mu ewo ewiemhyɛn anasa lupre bomframa bia ekote hweye na sɛde ehyehyeye esi ekoye ne mpanimfo ye sɛ wo mo bɔ foto de ama wo mo na Ghana cedi wo pepepe baako trust fund waye de ama animdifo yi atitiru ya wo mo hwere wo mo nkwamma ɛna wo pepepe miensa wo mapomuden ekoba sɛ BBC na wo yare ana bibi ete saa na eno so ye de ahwe wo mu nti mampanyi John Dramani Mahama e de nsem to dwa bra na wo dane ama wo mu.
On the 6th of August 2025, Ghana was plunged into mourning by the tragic helicopter crash that claimed the lives of distinguished public servants and gallant officers of our armed forces. They served this nation with dedication, patriotism, and honor, and their untimely passing left a void that can never be truly filled. Today, we stand with these families once again, not only to remember the sacrifices they made, but to demonstrate through concrete action that Ghana does not abandon those who sacrifice everything in her service.
Mampanyi John Dramani Mahama. Salamat Kuku Pinto na din semi brain.
African Pension Supervisors Association shemu course one na wotwe ase. Ena Ghana mampanyi abedi etire obenfo Jane na opoku agema wokasa. Na wode ato bi mampanifo anim se. Wonya nhyehyeye pa do obi sumo oman bi na wowie kwa na homigye mu a daache na ni ankoye ne ya.
The challenge before us is significant, but it is not too great to overcome if we commit to some of the following objectives: accelerating pension inclusion, particularly among informal workers and underserved populations.
Ghana mampanyi abedi etire obenfo na Jane opoku agema ne nie. Patricia Sefa Fisher ene Clinton ko Amoako ene de amanipo yi ebesomo yen.
Na Patricia Esan Edebaya wo chese Vice President Professor Nana Jane opoku agema. Ena wo koko PM wo judicial service anase enkasa Supreme Court mfinhia wo ha ene aduonum afidida na wo die no. Ema wo chese obetimi asisudua aka se judicial independence anase yeka atemu adwuma no a wo mo fa hodie pa na anniversary ase eno kan semwe.
This anniversary invites us to think seriously about the future of our beloved country. Government believes that a confident democracy requires confident institutions. We therefore regard the strengthening of the justice sector as an essential investment in Ghana's democratic future and national development agenda.
Ene ayati ye mampenya bedi eche Professor Nana Jane opoku Ajiman. Patricia Sefa Fisher ene Priscilla. Philippa Atanga. Wo mo na de ensemi baye.
Na watu kroya mu no Ghana mampenya bedi etire obenfo Jane na opoku Ajima kasa di tudwa. Sa eba disua emofra de no yemfo sika nhyem na ntime moa. Na abofra no wonyini ba na akenkan enu kuntabuo oti ase ya daache yembre se woman.
Head teachers play a central role in monitoring these interventions and ensuring that classroom instruction translates into measurable improvements in learner achievements. Education remains a shared responsibility. While government has a central role to play in policy formulation and resource allocation, sustainable improvement requires the active participation of parents, communities, with all respect, traditional authorities, religious bodies, development partners, civil society organizations.
Ghana mampanya bedi etire obenfo na Jane opoku Ajima ne nie. Na watwi mu ena Patricia Sefa Fisher de amanipo yi ebesomo yen.
Na watwi ye mu ena Supreme Court edi betu dwasa political parties no delegates ya eduru si ebeto aba ebi kwaji buta nyina yi emo anwa TV bibia moto na no de kwade yesi wo mu nche moto ene ne ekeka wansa ne ato aba de amawo ni nyina ya de bia Supreme Court say we ye free ho na asemi beto dwa ena lawyer Gary Nimakon ebisa say no omu yo ma free ho no wo ma na boa ma omu nya sika o.
Let's wait for the footage to come. All right, that's what I will say for now. Because I find it's quite well. Anyway, they said everybody should vote. No should vote. Should vote. Who's going to pay for the cost? Who is going to pay for the cost of the elections? The political parties? Well, let's wait and see. Thank you very much.
Enti I don't know. And our first vice chair, Emma CPP, Era Joyce Labi. On also so I didn't say to ja.
Some of us as convention people's party, we accept it. We accept it because the mass practice system of voting for our leaders, we have practiced it before.
Enti asam said yes ba na abopu senti omasam na ye short we nya ve no mbe kan tintin bia omse ye ntwen se ye guso twen eti we ye nsem a ye nsentro ni Philip Atanga ede bae
na sansem kro ya ho na nsoma na watwi mu afaje to south mrahye begani ona for Frank afiri ye kire mu se afa ne ye kabima menka bi se ye kwakoto ba se primaries nipa kakra bi ne nkoyi akandi for e ka sen se ye biem obi bie wo ho kwan se okoto aba. It
will, in the long run, in my opinion, lessen the rate of perception of corruption and the feeling that the one with the deepest pocket wins the day.
Oruminan for Frank Free, Faja to South, Mrashibe Jani, now watching mu, William Gentu Nimanola Quali, and the day someone will from my Sabaja Fee, Ebesomo Yang.
Now, Supreme Court to Gina C. Emma Oruminan for Alexander Akwesiakwa. One I am Rashabajani watch him down, or no so the same tuja.
No more, I mobilize the other party members. Am I? 18 say, you be who be this. I was here first who your party. Now, Yajiatum said these are party people. Because yes, sir, Nipa Bisu bet Babashim. Now, I'm choose the wrong candidate. No, I'm a party. So that's it. It is something that you need. And this is why you be. I didn't know I'm reverse here because I'm before say I'm choices of candidates. I feel no was not that representative. It's as a coffee be shame and I'm also a boy. Choose wrong candidates.
Any yeti ye no yam for Alexander Kwesiakwa. E mrahye bedwani an wo achem da constituency ne yeti say okasa no.
Na watwe mu na court batan de betu dwa. Sir office of the special prosecutor OSP so otumi so oboko adu. Na kwadu no obo na atene general hu ni said e bi. Kwadu a OSP boy die bibi twetwoma so otimi de ne nan esim. Na ginesi a Supreme Court de ba yemen nam soma lawyer Oliver Bakavemewo and Dr. Kojo Pumpuni Asante Edward Nutum.
The current constitutional framework places limits on how far Parliament could have gone on some of these questions. And the way forward, I think the court gives us a clear direction that we need constitutional reform to fix some of the issues that have come up. And I think that has to be the underlying message. There's an appetite across board we can see for an independent process in investigating these issues beyond the Attorney General, and I hope that we carry that forward into substantive reform. Listen, we have made tremendous progress on the issue already. The Attorney General has come out and said that he believes that he must give reasons whenever he exercises the non-prosecutorial power. It's something that I agree with, and I think that over time we may even begin to litigate the reasons as to whether or not they uphold the rule of law. So it's progress in every respect, I think.
Yeah, but we also have to know that the court said that power, because of the discretionary power, is subject to Article 296.
Emranim for mienu a woni twagu yeyi eye Oliver Bakavemewo ene Dr. Kojo Pumpuni. Philip Atanga na watwi mu wode amane boyi besomo yeyi.
Na asamba ko eno so na watwi mu beto dwa eye Enkane Microfinance and Small Loan Center ye hwaniti aka na Maslock eye Enkane Chief Executive no dan Mame Sadina Tamaklu ationu okopie mu wa monone wa ma na chi ye ka se ye nsaka na na obedru Ghana ha wokodam mfinhie adu ena okọ court of appeal okọ ya pena ya acquitted and discharged chese ye gya no asem no so kra ya bo ade ato ba bi kra na eno ena nam so ema government accountability series no eye Attorney General Kwegyina Simpie so ne ntwerefo ekasa ena wo chese emom said the court of appeal wasi ni gina ye no ewom de nanso wonu nso so ontena ase wo mo nso kwa appeal akwa akọhwe said the be ya said the esi eba ye no wo betumi asesa no
I want this to be made abundantly clear that it was my predecessor who filed the appeal. However, coming into office, I reviewed what was filed, and I directed the Director of Public Prosecution to file opposing the appeal, because we believe that the High Court judgment had merit. Now, with this judgment, I've also directed the Director of Public Prosecutions to file a notice of appeal and apply for stay of execution.
Attorney General, Minister for Justice, Dr. Dominic Ayine, ena yete so kasa salamat ku kwa pentil na din semye efri abanke siemu breye.
Jina esi afi appeal court ba na watwume nam so. En masebedwe na wo sade se we fia ana mu masebedwe fie. Odumunyanfo Isaac ya obo amanya akon kasa yetirem se. Jina se we de sabone na court na twei.
How many years are Ogwanu Kwabuchi until a change of government came and Sana Oroba Ghana the Oba beg contest against the decision of the court? You see, what we are doing is very dangerous for this. Mekai, at the time that the Attorney General was appointed, Osha said or applied for withdrawal of cases entering into nolle prosequa, that the NDC government is never committed to the fight against corruption.
Odumunyan for Isaac ya obo amanya akon member of parliament amade se we fia na watwe mu no de sansem ituja William Gentoni Emmanuel Akole wanamani boniye
na sansem yi na fundraising manager ma Transparency International Ghana ora Michael Buadi kire se se ya ne ye ne de a ene keta so hyade proye ho nsam de bekoso a o ye ho hwe enye yo.
I will say, yeah, my need the whole papa. It's only say, and among be as say, Cocosono, any assay, a brimu, file appeal. Now, when you went to my didi, you know, when I saw one abu, ya enter nolly prosecutor, now, corruption case, yeah, Coso, ya Germuno, me did say, year. Dear, and as a year, I saw see the beast, and a real baby, the beat the bino, I remember abodi pa.
And ya a fundraising manager, ma Transparency International Ghana, ora Michael Buadi, and yet so Casa Naomi or Benewa, and I didn't see me bray.
Jina esi appeal court de ba na watwume nam so. Lawyer Augustine Obo, eba awudise mu a, wo unim de pa wo mrem, o kire mu say. Attorney General say origination be kwa kupiemu e wo court ba Supreme Court agudi nchiremu. Wo tena sidi na wo hwe a wonji ni se bi pa bia be firi maba. Supreme Court tena so a wo be ka say appeal court gina ye na wo si ye no wonye mfomso.
The politics the rural justice mu into bibia politics and so oto mu ase kan justice general kan na mesre yes ye one for politics because ha na ye justice system necessary na me gidi pa ha say ye politics prima we want the court of appeal judgment in Supreme Court be confirm or be affair the man judgment na ya man ye the mrato ho a na ye politics prima we want the judgment na ye kan and mrana na ye kan.
Lawyer Augustine Obo na watwi mu one Kwame Nkrumah tikesi atwetwe nkomo awade achen bi adwumadi ekoso OKFM so ene wode sanchire mu yi atuja
na yasan ekọ Dr. Dominic Ayine ho a Attorney General wasan kire mu se ye kasa ya Constitutional Review Committee no wo mo akwa ye hwehwemu dane neoma e wo Ghana ye constitution nim na gina ye ba ko a wo mo de aba wo mo de eho ensam beto dwa hwese ebetumi aye adwuma ne se presidential and parliamentary. Say, one more 4 years, 4 years. Inti ngemfa afe ba kunka unenye 5 years. Inti mampenyi ba 5 years. Parliamentarians 5 years. Eno de betu dweche seni enipa no. So enye mfinshi aduasenu 35 years a. Otimi gina presidential na parliamentary no.
The government has accepted a recommendation to extend the term of office of the president from 4 years to 5 years, with the term of parliament extended to correspond with this. Our thinking is practical. Under the current 4-year cycle, the early months of every administration are consumed by transition matters, and the final year is largely consumed by elections. A 5-year term provides a more realistic time frame for the formulation, implementation, and assessment of government policy.
Attorney General Dr. Dominic Ayine salamat kuku apentil enedi nsemi eba
na watwi mu dom kuma friends and telephone share mu orumnyafo kwa ku ampre tum sapon mampom na sebedwani gina wona na mu kasai ne kasai mu no de kokoba no wodin emanwumeku ahodo etufo ma gudie wo man mu Say Ghana yɛmfom agude na ye wono enya party A dia enya party B dia na emom eye Ghana for dia enti ama mmra no a fom agude etu obon ho bra no ema wo mbuso.
The resources beneath our soil do not belong to today's government. They do not belong to any minister. They do not belong to any political party. And they do not belong to any mining company. They belong to the Republic of Ghana. The executive holds them in trust for the people. Parliament is constitutionally required to protect that trust. That responsibility demands diligence, not haste. It demands scrutiny, not acquiescence. It demands accountability.
Onumanyanfo kwaku amplachum sapon mampom na hyebedwani na watwe mu ogina domkuma ne dimu na wode sansem itu dwan Emmanuel Akwali ene William Gento amanebo enie
na watwe mu ebeto dwa se Dr. Kesel Atofo se komra hyebedwam ekobo man sikasam ene akonhoma sika ho amane no ena emra hyebedwani owo atiwa East wono na edwam tenani ema Public Accounts Committee Onumunyamfo abena osei asare o kire se de Ghana sikasam musi wo musi kana nya sa na tie mu nyina mo ni twia enya de a enyini
from Etiwa East, where we have the Osino Enyinem Konongo bypass. You not spending on capital expenditure means I am not getting the roads completed. And that is a sad story. So if government comes to say that I'm living within my means, but is not spending in the right places, Mr. Speaker, economic activity is not flourishing, and it will not help develop the economy.
Any ayeti Emrashe Bedwani owo Etiwa East ono na ye chairman Emma Public Accounts Committee Onumunyamfo abena osei asare ye sentrofo William Gentu eni ora Emmanuel Akoli ena di nsemi breye
na watwe mu ena lambusi Emrashe Bedwani Onumunyamfo titles be you okase di tu dwa se ota okwadu ayi na America omampeje di amba wa bonno homodin papa na bire bi atwa mu Ghana economy no senke da ICU intensive care unit or jinana wawu aban ba ye utimusi ye free intensive care unit e de aba OPD ne ho ato no anesa nipa be 950,000 wo hia wa firim aban na bon ho modin dodo.
You need to treat the person, which is what he has done, settled our debts and creditably discharged us from the IMF and taking us through the general ward by stabilization, and finally he's making sure that we do not fall back to that level of illness, which is that we don't borrow recklessly and end up in debt. Mr. Speaker, there have been accusations that the finance minister is not spending. If spending is spending recklessly, then the finance minister is indeed not spending.
Onumunyamfo titles be you lambusi Emrashe Bedwani na watwe mu ene wode sansem itu dwa Emrashe Bedwani Emmanuel Akwali ni William Gentu wana mani boni
na wamwane ye Onumunyamfo opon akwadwo opon kroma ofanse agirebi constituency ho no ene owo ene o say I Dr. Kesel Atofo say on spending ehwe enti na Ghana sikasam ne ye no.
The agric ministry needed about 1.6 billion Ghana cedis for fertilizers and other things. You claim you had released it. The minister came and told everybody that that was untrue. And now, what is going on out there, ask those who go to the market the price of just one tomato. You will see the value of what you are doing. The education minister said he needed to recruit tens of thousands of young Ghanaians. Because you are not giving financial clearance because you want your books to look nice, they are sitting home and they are struggling with recruitment.
Ani ayati ye Emrashe Bedwani owo ofanse constituency Onumunyamfo kodwa opon kroma na yete se okasa
na watwe mu na adwumayefo a waye adwuma ovako ade betu dwa so nam na wotete adan a vako ne da dom atoso for selibo na chi ye ton wote hugu montu se ye kire se wo mpene ne wo kina so nka ho na brother Morgan Ayawin ene otwetwe nkomo we ayen someone na watwe mu etu dwa nanke ehwese bepe ne no de amamu na so adi nsisa kakra mo fanche Volta Aluminium Company Vaku Force on adwuma ne ye ton eniti omompene so ne o kina so ka ho amanse aba danso abiam na watwe mu de sama ne boyi ebesomo yen
na Ghana Union of Traders Association etwaniti aka no guta womo eche se court wahye anase court bu asem se womo containers eho ensensem charges e da so no ese fata se womo beye bibide afa ho na guta se high court share no womo nyante ho asem enti womo ebisa
shipping lines no won't comply with the ruling no SSA 720 and no necessary won't comply na emu no sikadada na wɔn agye no a ɛyɛ way above 720 cedis no ɛno na wɔn egu so ɛyɛ den ɛgye saa shipping lines no wɔn ɛyɛ nkurɔfoɔ a wɔn fi amanɔne ɛna wɔn ɛyɛ adwuma ɛwɔ ha enti ka yɛtua freight no koraa deɛ nka ɛho mpo nhia sɛ yɛbɛsan atua saa administrative charge no ɛwɔ ha nanso no in the wisdom of shippers authority ɛna wɔn say yɛdeɛ ɛnyɛ hwee yɛntua saa 720 no yɛde 720 no aba nso a mo sɛ mo mpene mo de kɔ court sɛ daabi mo ne ho kwan na shippers authority ɛne the regulator a wɔn regulate the shipping industry no enti sɛ wɔn aka sɛ mo nye saa 720 no a ɛsɛ sɛ ɛno na mo gye na mo sɛ mo nte aseɛ mo deɛ ɛno deɛ mo nye na emu no
President Odaguta no ye Ora Clement Boateng ye te se o kasa no.
Na watchu mamanfo ebohyiae ewo Independence Square. Na Apostle Engineer Emeritus Joseph Kantanka na yiyo na ekoso. Caleb Kwadwade kopie mu ho ene adehye bi die hia. Na woka nyina ne se eyi no de abaso enti Ghana fo mere yie.
Ya da onabo adwa support say what the papa nim onya bibia obi bewu na mo de obi ye na chi ye no ye de ye hwe enye manso wada adwa support da gada manyina ase amoza da gada manyina ase ene de ye gye hey onabo adwa support ade papa amokoyo support ye na ye ye de na menye wo bai wa mo ye de kuso ye on pe wu aye nyina nka mo odo ne hia
ane da ye kokora ye papa Apostle Joseph Kantanka na ye de ase de nyankopon ase na bi mo nyindi se no kwese be kra papa na so nyame adom abrowa ayipuma kwan ene due ya papa Kantanka be ka tene chikura wa Independence Square
adihye bi a okopie mo Independence Square na wokɔboaye Apostle wakata nechi ebi ne enie Caleb Kwadwade na wotwe mo de amanipo yi ebesom yen
Deputy Director of that program Sano Ghana AIDS Commission Ora Derek Opon Ajare na opanyi achese say tedua mu bɔ ha mekire condom so wo mu kope machines no de aba besisi ho ye de condoms agum entu upe bi a omo fere a mbekwa akɔtɔ wo pharmacy no omo mfere bi odu anu ayi bi na de ode koye na de akwa so odi nsuo na ekogum o se wo koye ne de yo uyi na de kɔ
condom machine no entema baby am nipa bi no attention fakka no sano you born and nipa ni group of mom say ke bi na yesi ye bi to tata yano ono ye e fry you can and when e kono ye be ko nyamu do that come e ba no step by step condom ni teno e mebo no enter punish and you say ayesa na e ma we enya no nyam bi a o sha on the ho na e dema you be na say so we big man up kostuka who do kaka o de bank kaka betemba o shop na better ye subsidize and say the kokoto no front ye better to remember the nkwaza
Any ayati ye Deputy Director of Programs Ghana AIDS Commission Ora Derek Opon Ajare ono ohene wa kase boahin ene kasa wo ye nwumre kase bo so na wotwi emu
2074 Ghana this week esunie I can count for you.